Hey everybody, it's Chris Buteau with Cleveland Street Mortgage, and this area is a little bit out of my expertise. I am a CPA, and it does certainly intersect mortgages, which is why it came up in the context of what I do. But it has to do with selling a house that has a reverse mortgage on it, or paying off a reverse mortgage, and the unique tax opportunities that may arise in that context. Now, usually, by definition, you're dealing with individuals who are of retirement age. You can't get a reverse mortgage unless you're at least 62 years old. And so in most cases, you're going to have someone who's had a reverse mortgage for a while. And what happens, what's unique about reverse mortgages is that you don't deduct any interest until you pay that loan off, because you're not actually paying for the interest. That interest is accruing every year and being added to the balance. Now you're actually incurring the cost, but you don't pay that until you sell the house. And then when you sell that house and then you pay off the old mortgage, all of that accrued interest gets added in. And so depending on how long you've had that reverse mortgage, that could be quite a large amount of interest. And where the opportunity arises, which will catch some people by surprise, is that now you've got this very large mortgage interest deduction in the year that you pay off a reverse mortgage. And what do you do with that? Well, in many of these cases, individuals with these reverse mortgages, they don't have a ton of taxable income, right? So they're not reporting a ton of taxable income. And so what they end up with is a very large deduction that is more than they can use. And so the idea or the thought is that many of these people also have retirement assets. Let's say they have a traditional taxable IRA sitting out there. And if they pay off a reverse mortgage and they have a $40,000 mortgage interest deduction that year because they paid off a reverse mortgage that's been accruing interest or larger for some years, then perhaps it would make sense to then do a Roth IRA conversion with that traditional IRA. And what happens when you do a Roth IRA conversion, you take that, you effectively distribute that taxable IRA, and you fully trigger the tax on that in the year that you take that or you make that conversion. And so let's say you're sitting on a $40,000 IRA and it's fully taxable, so that every dollar you draw out will be taxable, but you've got this $40,000 of available mortgage interest deduction that could potentially offset that through an itemized deduction. And so that might be a good time to think about maybe making that Roth IRA conversion in the year that you pay off your reverse mortgage, so that subsequent distributions out of that IRA asset could be tax-free or potentially tax-free. I am a CPA, but I don't practice. I haven't practiced for many years. I keep my license open. So please do check this with the real guys, but just a thought. Thanks so much.